Right. So, in the previous sessions, we discussed about how to import spreadsheets and all everything in service now. At the same time, even we discussed about how to create a project, etc. All that. Where in today's session, I am going to discuss about creating a table. Even we discussed even. Right. So today we are going to discuss about the creation of data integration, because when you want to integrate with multiple data, especially when we are working on projects, it's always important for us to integrate multiple data with ServiceNow, so that whatever the data extension we want to do and how this can be performed and how are we going to access the data from an external sources is what something which normally we have to be performed here. In this regard, here we need to select the creation of data integration over here, wherein we continue. Right. So if you want to import the data, first of all, you need to name it. Normally, I'm giving the name called inventory. Right. So inventory is what generally the name I'm giving. Right. So maintain stock position. Right. So this is what generally the inventory stands for. Right. So you need to maintain the stock position, wherein you need to continue. So that data integration, if you want to do, first of all, you need to import the data, right? So you need to maintain the stock position where here, and simply you can click on done. So this is where and how you can see there is one data which we have created for data input. At the same time, we have accessed the data. We have taken from a export the imported tables and all everything to the existing application. At the same time, even managing the stock positions and all everything is what something which we did. Now, if you want to implement any kind of logic for automation, because if there is any kind of workflows, because in the previous session I discussed about the creation of workflows and all, wherein if you want to add any kind of workflows here itself is concerned, there is a workflow process which was already explained. Now I'm going to explain you about the process. For example, if you want to create any kind of process in ServiceNow, using ServiceNow being into the business analyst roles, majorly because business process creation, right? So workflows and all everything, being into business analyst role, we do it. And even developers should also have some knowledge over that, right? So you need to create a process. So for that process, I'm just creating for billing, right? So product billing, okay? This is what I'm writing as a right. So this is what something which has a description I'm writing, wherein you can click on continue, right? So record, create and update. Okay, this is what I'm taking. Now, if there is any kind of table, what we have selected and all everything, that we have to take the table over here. So we need to select the table, whatever the table we have and all everything. So the table has to be selected, which is essentially important, right? So table selection has to be done. Right? For example, what are the tables do we have? So the table selection can be done. So for example, it's a .NET application or something of that sort. At the same time, run my trigger, right? So, uh, right. So yeah, so A/B testing evaluation we have taken. Now trigger the condition, we need to select the fields. For example, created, right? So created on today, right? So right, so new condition set, if you want to add any kind of new condition set, we can create, right? So for example, uh, created by starts with, right? So you need to enter the value over here. Okay, so like this, there are different conditions we can add into the existing trigger condition can be added when we wants to create any kind of new process and all that. Next, for generally for every update, wherein continue my trigger, right? So run this trigger on an extend table is what something which we have selected, wherein you are clicking on continue. So if you want to create any kind of process and all, these are all the informations which has to be updated so that you can see over here. App, mobile POS system, billing process. Process definition is the billing process is what something which we have created. You can see over here. So this is how generally this billing process and all everything we can create. And you can see the billing process over here, right? So here you can see if there is any kind of diagrammatical view you want to provide. So we need to add the diagrammatical view. Here you can see this is a diagrammatical view where if you want to add any information of that sort, wherein we can create. For example, there is a new stage. For example, login, right? So this is where, for example, right? So login is what something which you have to create, right? So this is how generally the uh, process, right? So process which has to be created so that development team can understand whatever are we working on. Development team can understand what we are creating. Subsequently, whatever the required business logic to be implemented for the existing application will be done by the development team and all everything later. And this is how and what generally business process creations and all followed by data integration. Business process creations is what something which being a role of a business analyst majorly, which normally we'll be working using ServiceNow application. So this is all about this session. If you have any queries, please reach out.